folks, and we are back. Thank you for joining me, your host, HUBERT GUY, with another great episode of The Actor's Cut. I have a very, very wonderful guest on my show tonight. She's going to talk a lot about women's empowerment, a lot of the movements that she has coming up. And, I don't even want to talk no more because I want to let her introduce herself to you, because this is going to be a great interview tonight. And we're going to hit on a lot of great and important issues, within not only women's lives, but also the whole society as well, that we're going to talk about today, because this is going to be a great show, like I said. So with no further ado, please introduce yourself to the television audience.
Darlene Aiken of D.AIKEN and Associates Worldwide.
Yes. So tell us your background about, what you do and so forth.
Well, D.AIKEN and Associates Worldwide is the preeminent personal and professional consulting firm, and it's a speakers bureau. So what we do is we work with developing people's CVs, we develop their bios, we elevate bios, elevate marketing tools and things like that to take them to the next level of their business endeavors. Also, we have a speakers bureau that's exclusive, where some of our clients are celebrity fashion professionals, authors, adjunct professors, professional athletes, you name it. We have a professional chef on television who's one of our clients, civil rights, entertainment. So we have a plethora of professionals who we've elevated their bios and their profiles, and we've gotten them to the next level of their speaking world. Right.
Yeah. To the level that they need to get to.
Absolutely, because some of them had so much experience, but they were not being compensated appropriately for their experience.
Right.
So what we did was we elevated their bio and their professional image, and marketed them, and now they're getting paid what they deserve.
Right, and you know what? That's very important, because I was speaking with a friend of mine this few days ago about getting your worth.
Right.
Knowing what type of skills that you have and knowing what you can ask for, because sometimes we, as a person or as a new business starting out, we may be a little intimidated because, it's new to us and so forth.
Right.
So we don't ask for exactly that money. And, I was telling a friend of mine, because he was telling me how undercharged he charged a person. And I was like, well, you should have charged this person this much, because he could have had a professional contractor come in and give him like a $7,500 estimate, and he still would have been charged more than that, So
Right.
You have to understand, your worth and, exactly what you are. And for people who don't know what a CV is, that's your curriculum vitae. That's
Right.
getting all your T's crossed and your I's dotted and so forth. So to make sure that, when you get out there and you're looking for that exact profession and you're looking to implement yourself into whatever association that you're looking for, that you have everything together.
Absolutely,
I
and
like
a curricula vitae is especially for folks who have a more extensive resume, if you will, so that it shows a certain level of professionalism, which means then you're automatically assessed and you are automatically assumed to be receiving a certain amount of money. So what we do is we make that assessment to show our clients what they are worth. So that's why we only accept a certain type of client for our speakers bureau, because it allows us to bring them to the level that they need to be brought to. Whereas on the other side, the consulting firm, that side is the part that gets them to become that, get on that level.
Right.
Yeah.
And, being in this business, you have to, I understand you care about what others worth as well, for them to, be able to be compensated, how they should be. So how did you get started in this line of work? How did you come into doing this, to being able to want to help people to get what they deserve and help people with marketing and promotions and their media and so forth?
Well, I've always been a take charge kind of person, and I've always been an advocate for others. I guess that's being the oldest sibling, so you always had that advocacy thing in you, because you had to always watch out for your sibling. But one of the things that I realize is, I hear people say, oh, well, I'm a woman, I don't get as much as a man get, or I'm doing this profession, I don't get as much as he gets. I hear both women say that. And I'm of the mindset that you get what you're able to negotiate.
Right.
You know, and that's really biblical. You know, there's a parable in the Bible where, you know, there were men who came to do a job. They got paid for the whole day. And then this one man, he came at the middle of the day and he got paid the same thing that they were paid for the whole day. And they said to the guy who was paying the boss, they said, hey, that's not fair. He says, well, look, that's what I agreed to pay you and you agreed to that, so that's what you get. So I am truly of the mindset that you get what you're able to negotiate.
Right.
And I'm able to negotiate the things that I know I'm worth. So
Right.
I do that for my clients.
Right.
And that's why they pay me the big bucks to do that.
Ching, ching.
Yeah, I mean, because think about it. People say, oh, you know, the economy, there's no money, there's no money. Just because there's no money in your pocket doesn't mean that there's not money circulating. And, you know, why should I not have a piece of that pie?
Right, right. And, you know, and that's, you know, I was watching, you know, the State of the Union address last night. Was it last night or was it the night before?
I feel bad for you to torture yourself.
You know, I
you
didn't
elect a clown, you expect a circus.
I didn't watch the whole thing. You know, certain parts, you know, I turned in and turned off on. You know, and I mainly, you know, caught some highlights, you know, on YouTube like Sports Center. You know, and, you know, the way that he was speaking, you know, about the economy and so forth, and, you know, speaking about the tax cuts and different things that's, you know, going on, it's people really have to understand right now that now is really a good time to really take charge and really grab a hold and, you know, whatever investment that they're looking into, because he's basically trying to turn this, you know, this country into a business. You know, so if you have that type of business right now, is really, I would say, a good time to take advantage of it, you know, because, you know, all those opportunities are open, so don't miss it. But, you know, and just that, but the economic state, you have to understand that it's going to change too, because, you know, I feel that we're going to have another leader in there soon, and it's going to be different, and our economics are going to be different. But that's on another note. We're going to switch back. You know, I'll be rambling and mumbling and stuff, but we're going to let's talk about your leadership conference. So she has a leadership conference coming up, and let's talk about your leadership conference and everything that this is going to encompass as well.
So the Lead Hership Conference is a women's empowerment conference. And we have some awesome women lined up as our honorees, because my quest is to empower women and to empower young girls, because I really feel that I am the product of community service. So it's my mission to give back as a community servant. So one of the things that I decided was, I see that there are a whole bunch of people who are being famous for just being stupid, and I didn't want to be a part of that movement. What I felt like I wanted to do was show young girls that you can use your brain and make a living off of that. You don't have to twerk and use your body in ways that are demeaning to your character, and that things that you can't explain to your children when you get older, or things that you're ashamed to do in front of your mom. So the Lead Hership Conference, and it's spelled Leadher, ship. The honoree lineup is awesome. We have a woman who is a real live rocket scientist with NASA. Like many times we talk about, oh, it's not rocket science. Oh, you think you're a rocket scientist, but this is a real live rocket scientist with NASA.
That's
exactly,
awesome.
Yeah. Then we have a media maven who she's been affiliated with major media, but also black media that is dear and near to black women's heart. Essence magazine is where she got her start, and then she went on to create her own media center, or company, I should say. We have another woman who is the VP and General Counsel and of the attorney of U.S. markets with MasterCard. So all legal affairs she handles with MasterCard. But in addition to that, she's founded her own liquor company that's extremely successful. We have authors and professors. The owner of the venue is one of our lineup honorees. And the former proprietor of Harlem Lanes, who is now a high-end real estate developer and agent, she's one of our honorees. So we have 6 honorees who are dynamic women.
Very nice.
A portion of the proceeds will go back to a grassroots organization that works with youth called Impact, and they do a phenomenal job. So we're going to have a little performance from them. We're going to give a portion of our proceeds to them, and we are just excited about the things that are going to go on with leadership.
Very nice.
And yeah, we're looking to move this to the next level and empower young ladies and women to let them know that you can be whatever it is that you want to be.
Right. So when the women come out to the leadership conference, what are some of the subjects that they can look forward to, learning more about or hearing about?
Well, we're going to have a he say, she say forum.
Very nice.
So what that means is that some of our young ladies, all of them, they're going to anonymously ask questions on a index card, and we're going to field them to some men that we have slated for a panel, so that now they can ask these questions and they don't have to have their name associated with it, so that they can ask the hard questions. Because many of these young ladies don't have positive male role models, so that now they can ask those questions and get real answers from stable men who are going to, give them some type of guidance.
Right.
So that's one of the things. We're also going to have information about how to start your career, or how to look into what it is that you want to be, and then launch that. And to know that also you can change your mind.
Right.
Just because you say you want to be a lawyer or a doctor, and all of a sudden life changes, then that's okay.
Right.
You don't have to do that.
Right.
You can change your mind, and it's quite okay. In fact, one of our honorees, who is the rocket scientist, she always knew she wanted to work with NASA, but she took some dips and dives before she became who she is. So we're going to let them know that it's okay to change your mind.
Right, right. It is. I mean, because you have to live life. You have to find out,
Absolutely.
exactly what path that you're going down until because I didn't
and
come
make
into
some mistakes
right,
before you make
right.
a decision.
It's good to make mistakes because you need that good solid life experience. You need that life experience.
Right.
You need to go through certain things. You don't need to succeed all the time. You need to fail so you can see how it feels, so you can understand how it feels to overcome
Absolutely.
failure.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And if you're not failing, then you're not doing anything.
Right, right. You're
I
not,
say
you're not
failure.
trying.
Failure is when you don't try.
Right.
When you do nothing, that's failure. But as long as you're moving and you're working towards your goal, that's not, and you don't succeed or succeed in the time frame, that's not failure at all.
Right. Right, because I'm sure that some of these products that they didn't get it right the first time.
Absolutely not.
Test it over and over and over again. That's what you got to do. Repetition. See what works. See what doesn't work. See what worked from the last thing that you can implement into the next thing.
Right.
Yeah. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
That's what it's all about. So, it's a lot going on right now with women's issues, as far as the Me Too movement, as far as, just women really, women, I love women.
Right.
I love women. I support them. I stand by them, and I've always been a very strong backer of them.
Right.
So, and it's a lot of things that's really going on within the industry, as far as the entertainment industry. And even, I would even probably say, more the fact even in corporate America, like that people don't know, just because it's not high profile people with, as far as, sexual accusations and not only that, but just, the sheer amount of harassment that's going on. So how do you feel about, some of the things that's going on, and what do you think that we can implement into not only our society, but into our workforce as well to, help subside some of these issues?
I think that one of the things is that, it's tough, because I have to say, thank God, I've never been assaulted or molested or in any way touched inappropriately by a man, but I have been talked to inappropriately by men, and I didn't like how it felt. As a grown woman now, I'm able to speak up. I've always been someone who could advocate for myself, and if not, I always had a strong support system that I knew I could depend on. But I recognize that a lot of women don't have that. So one of the things that I would suggest is that women learn to be an advocate for themselves. But one of the things that I would say that more women have to start doing is they have to know who they are and know their self-worth first, and not be ashamed to say, you know what, I'm deserving of this, but not deserving of that. And you are going to treat me and interact with me in this way and not that way.
Right.
And I know that in the past, when I have commanded that kind of respect, people would try to label me a certain way, but I was okay with those labels. So long as you respect me, you can call me whatever you want, as long as you do it with respect. Put Miss in front of it and we're good, because you're not going to do certain things. Right. So I believe that is a part or a factor as to why those things as I got older didn't happen to me, because I was able to stand up for myself. And I have no problems. You know, I'm going to report you. Right. And
we're going to HR, buddy.
We are gonna I'm going to write it up so that everyone knows exactly what's going on
and who you are.
Absolutely. You know, and I understand that everybody doesn't have that kind of personality. But then come see me. I'll advocate for you. Let's talk.
Right.
Right. Because I think that everyone deserves to be treated with respect.
Right.
And everybody has to give respect. Right? And if you're not sure what that is, then don't make any moves until you research what that is.
Right.
And for women, know who you are and know what it is that you want, so that you can demand what you want. You can't, again, you get what you negotiate.
Right.
And that may sound kind of mean, but if you are, you know, giving off a certain kind of behavior, then you have to expect some kind of kickback from that. You know, my dad would always tell me, he said, you have to give something to get something. He said, so determine what it is that you're willing to get before you give, because it may not be in line with what you want. So identify both sides of the spectrum.
Right.
And I would tell women to definitely start with that, and know who they are and be comfortable in your skin.
Right, right.
Right? Stop trying to be like someone else. Be who you are. We are different for a reason.
Right, right.
So I call it, you know, the puzzle theory, that if we're all trying to be that same shape, then the puzzle doesn't get completed. We need your unique identity to complete the puzzle.
Right. Right.
So that then you deny yourself, you deny the world of your gifts, talents, and abilities when you're trying to be like someone else.
Right, right.
Because your gifts, talents, and abilities are unique to someone else. That's why you can have Burger King and McDonald's on the same corner, because although they are burgers, they're unique.
Right.
Right? So we have to remember that we're unique, and our gifts, talents, and abilities are not for us, they're for others.
Right. And I mean, you hit it so much on the head right there. And, you know, to just, you know, pony back on that, I was going through some things last year to where I felt that I wasn't able to, you know, move on certain things like I wanted to, just because I felt that like it was something over me. And I felt like, you know, I didn't have all of my power. You know, before the end of the year, I had a serious talk with myself. Yes, I talk to myself.
I do, and I answer myself too.
Very serious talk with myself, yeah. And I was telling myself, yo, my man, you got to get your power back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You have to get your power back. You can't even let anybody feel like they have one inkling of control over you. It doesn't even matter if it's your boss or whoever, because even if it's your boss, you know, you got to understand, you're a grown person just like they're a grown person. You know, there is a respect level there.
Absolutely.
We work together. You may be my boss. You may be, you know, above me, but, you know, there is not any type of difference in respect.
And let me correct you. No one is above me.
Right.
I'm not above anyone either, but no one is above me.
Right.
Right. So I'm going to give you respect, and you're going to give me respect. And if not, then we're going to deal with it from that standpoint.
Right.
And we're not going to go further until it's understood by both parties that you're not above me. You may have a title that I don't have. You may have a salary that I don't have. But you know, it's like it's my company, right? But I'm not above my clients.
Right.
Right. I'm going to talk to them about certain things. They're going to talk to me about certain things. There's certain things that I know, certain things that they don't, and vice versa. But no one is above you because they have a title. Because what happens when they lose that title?
Right. They go down.
And some people, that's all they have is a title, because they get no respect elsewhere. So you're not above me. That's just in your title only, but you are going to respect me.
And we're going to work together. And I'm going to keep my power, and I'm not going to let you take my power or take any type of control over me.
Absolutely not.
Right. Oh my God. That just felt so uplifting right there. You know how you have those moments and you feel like,
Well, that's what we do.
yes. Yes. So and this conference, let's talk about this conference that's coming up Saturday, March 10th. Let's tell them about it. Saturday, March 10th, 2008. And where is it at?
It's going to be at Occasions Banquet Hall. And you can go to our website for more information and to get your tickets. www.DAIKENassociates.net. That's D.AIKEN, A-I-K-E-N, associates with an S.net.
Yes, yes. And I'm going to come.
I hope you do come.
I'm bringing wife, and me and wifey's going to come. You know we'll be there.
Let us know. We're going to have you.
You know we'll be there. And we are excited because, you know, I've been telling her, and you know, my wife, she's all about.
I love your wife. I absolutely love her. I could not stop
amazing,
hugging her the other day when we were hanging out. She is amazing.
God. She is. She is. She said, well, go on and do your show so you can hurry up and get back home. I said, okay. I even feel like I'm like 4 or 5. Like I got to rush home from school. I do. So anyway. But
also, let me say this.
Yes.
My client and the wonderful, magnificent Kim Hampton, WNBA legend. She is going to be performing. She's an awesome songstress.
Oh, very
nice. And she does some awesome jazz. She's going to be performing that night.
Very
nice.
That
day during the conference, yes.
Very, very
so
nice.
So that is definitely worth mentioning. I'm so excited that she agreed to come on board and do this with us.
Yes. And let me read the information off of. Give them the website again where they can get these tickets from.
They could go to our website at www.DAIKENassociates.net.
Mm-hmm. And if anybody wanted to do any work with you, you know, become involved with the, you know, women's movement, the women's work that you're doing, or any type of the leadership councils that you're doing, how would they be able to get involved with you?
Go to our website, go to our contact page, and complete it, and one of our representatives will be more than happy to contact you and let you know what the next steps are.
You have no excuse.
None.
You have no excuse not to change the future.
Let me say this. Our slogan is higher level thinking plus higher level performance equals higher level results, period.
I'm not even saying nothing because she said period. I mean, she said it all. That's true. You know, if you work at a high level, you know, you're going to get high level results.
Because it starts with your thinking first.
Right, right.
Whatever you think, whether you think you can or you can't, either way you're right.
Right. And thoughts manifest.
Absolutely.
So if you're thinking that you can, like I tell people, what you know, if you know, a lot of my students that I've spoken with, you know, I've told them, you know, what are you interested in? You know, because, you know, just because, you know, I'm teaching them barbering, that don't mean they're not interested in anything else or don't want to do anything else. So what are you interested in? You know, get that mind frame open to, okay, this is what I'm interested in. Then you give them, you know, well, these are the steps that you need to take, or, you know, Google, you know, get into this. You know, you have to be able to open somebody's mind to help them to elevate to that next level. You know, just
absolutely.
Just, you know, just do certain things. You know, it's all about, you know, helping one another. And, you know, if you have information and you have knowledge that, you know, needs to be shared with somebody else, don't keep it to yourself. I don't like when people get information and keep it to themselves. Why do people do that? That's crazy.
Because they're not looking to elevate.
Yeah,
because again, gifts, talents, and abilities are not for you. You know, it's like the surgeon, right? Let's say the brain surgeon. Brain surgeon can't do his own surgery or her own surgery on her brain. He or she has to do it on your brain, right? And then in turn, another brain surgeon can go and do, or a heart surgeon can go on someone else, because your talents, gifts, and abilities are not for you, they're for others. And as a result, if everybody thinks along that line, what happens is no one is left in a deficit.
Right.
Because everybody receives.
Right.
Everybody's giving and everybody's receiving.
Right.
So it's circular and it's never ending.
Right.
And there's no deficit.
And we need more of that.
Indeed.
We definitely need more of that, because, I mean, we just need more of that, because, I mean, it's so important. And you can see today, you know, what's going on in society. You know, we have come together somewhat, but we need even more, you know, and it's not even, you know, on a global scale, but even more in the community. We're still, you know, kind of like really separated in our community sometimes too, you know, to where we gotta come together a little bit more, so we can have even issues in our community solved before, you know, other people come in and solve them for us.
Well, let me say this. That's what I think. That's why I think Trump is good. because what he's doing is he's making us all come together and depend on one another, whereas before we didn't. We were treating each other like the have and the have-nots. And when he got into office and he started treating all of us like the have-nots, it makes us all dependent upon one another, whereas before we weren't like that. So if I had to look for something good, that would be the good. And he also makes you pray more.
Right.
Because, you know, even if you're praying for him to get out of office, you're praying more.
You are doing something. You are meditating. You are
thinking. You're looking for a higher power because you know something needs to be done.
Right. Right.
So, yeah.
I think he's opened an awareness to a lot of people.
Absolutely.
You know, a lot of people, and especially
people who
that was
they
on
had
his
it
side.
Made,
right.
Right. And they're finding now that, no, I don't have it made. I need to do some things differently.
Right.
So, yeah. If I try to look for the good in everything. And that was the thing that I looked for. And I said, I'm noticing that we're coming together now more as a cohesive front. Folks who thought they were better or thought they were, you know, in the upper echelon. Now it's like, no, you're not included in his whatever.
No.
So now we're all we have.
Right.
We're all we have.
Right.
So also in terms of the give back, I know that you and your wife were not able to make the meet the author this past Saturday.
Yeah, we missed
that. Was awesome.
I was watching some of the recording, recording of it.
It was awesome. My client Ilyasa Shabazz,
yes,
she came down with her co-author Renee Watson, and Sonny Holston from The View came to interview her. And the girls that she was able to interact with from the Thurgood Marshall Academy in Harlem, it was an awesome time. These girls are still talking about their interaction with Ilyasa.
Wow.
Lisa Evers came down and Harriet Cole.
Yes.
We had a packed house with major media, community servants. We had a politician from Westchester, Lisa Copeland. She came down.
It was very
you know, and when you talk about give back, that whole day was filled with nothing but give back.
Right.
And it was just, I'm getting goosebumps talking to you about it.
It was a great day.
Because the children just were in awe.
It was a great day.
In awe. So, and that's what it's about. Children need to remember moments in time like this because they're, you know, history makers.
Right. Give them your information one more time to where they can get in contact with you on the date real quick for the leadership
The
conference.
leadership conference will be in Queens at Occasions Banquet Hall in Springfield Gardens on Saturday, March 10th. And our website is www.DAIKENassociates.net, and our phone number is 646-389-2033.
Give me some love. Thank you for coming down.
Thank you. It's always great.
This is a wonderful woman. This is my brother's wife. I love my brother, the Actors Cut, HUBERT GUY. Hit me up every Wednesday at 5 o'clock. Handsome Good Grooming on Instagram. Holla at your boy, Darlene Aikens. Peace.
Feel accomplished? You did a show?
How did I do, babe?
Terrible.